Hi Stitchers, and welcome back to my channel and to my extremely messy craft room. I'm Carolyn the Flosstube Stitcher, and this is my May WIP update video. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've all had a great month of May. My month was extremely busy and didn't see a lot of stitching, unfortunately, but I did my best and I still managed to get 2 projects finished and I had a new start. I worked on 4 projects altogether, not what I had planned. So, there were some changes made, but you know what? Got some stitching done and that's all that matters. So I want to start this video off by showing my t-shirt today. So the lovely Ronnie, who organised the 2024 Mirabilia retreat in Brisbane, which I attended, I ordered a t-shirt from her gorgeous daughter and that arrived in the mail the other day. So thank you, Ronnie, and thank you to your daughter so much. It made my day when this arrived. So I'm going to just move my chair back and stand up so you can see this. It's absolutely freezing here today in Adelaide. We're in winter now. I know a lot of you are in summer. We're in winter. It's my favourite time of year, so I'm not complaining, but I'm not dressed appropriately because I just wanted to show you this t-shirt. Okay, here we go. So this is the front. Look how the colours change. Oh, just love that. Mirror Queen. Now, I just want to say I am not a mirror queen. I'm a mirror baby. I have only completed 3 mirrors. I have quite a good collection. I would say good. I've seen some of your collections. Some of you are just, wow, I would love those collections. I do have quite a few and am slowly growing on more. So I am in no way, shape or form do I consider myself a mirror queen. But there were 2 choices of t-shirts and I'm trying to rack my brain what the other one looked like and I can't remember. But I liked this one, so this is the one I chose. So that's the front, and I'm going to turn around and show you the back. Move my hair. So hopefully you can see that. And if you can't see that properly, I will put up a photo. But I can't see what you see. So hopefully that came out okay. Now, it is so cold. I'm just going to move my chair back. All right, so thank you again, Ronnie, for organising that retreat. I had the best time and I wish I could go again next year, but it's hard financially. Okay, anyway, let's get started on the stitching. Oh, my hands are freezing. All right, so I had a new start for the month and it was also my finish number 9 for the year. And this is obviously the Christmas mug stitch along from Shannon Christine Designs. And the month of May saw Snow Lady. She is so cute. I was very careful stitching this one because the past 2 months I just wasn't concentrating properly and there was a lot of frogging. So very, very careful with this one, but I have to say something funny. And this is to my friend Helen, who is also stitching this series. And she sent me a message saying, I hope you don't mind me telling you, but you haven't done the French knots on Gingerbread Man. And I was like, oh. So I went back to Gingerbread Man mug. And I'm looking at his eyes. There's French knots there. There's definitely French knots there. And I'm like, what are you seeing, Helen, that I'm not seeing? And so I was messaging her back and forth. She said, oh, I'm sorry if you have done it, but I can't see it. And anyway, I had my wires crossed. She was talking about the little gingerbread man inside Snow Lady's mug. And I thought she was talking about the gingerbread man mug. So here I had stitched the whole Snow Lady mug and didn't realise that I stitched gingerbread man in there. So thank you, Helen, because I definitely would have missed that and would have framed it and then gone, oh, poor gingerbread man is blind and mute. So, as he does have a little mouth as well. So this is the only downside of Pattern Keeper. So anyone that uses Pattern Keeper and is new to it, yes, it's wonderful and you can mark off all your stitching, but it doesn't show the French knots. So you have to go to the PDF version to view the file that way, and it will show where the French knots are. So I always have to make a mental note of going back. And you know what's funny is when I finished stitching Snow Lady, I went back and checked her face. I'm all right, I've got all the French knots in. She got it on her bow as well. No, they're just white stitches. But anyway, I was like, right, I'm gonna make sure I get everything right. Post my picture. Of course, I miss Gingerbread Man. But thank you to Helen and other wonderful people who let me know from time to time that I've missed something, because I do appreciate it. I would rather know, whoops, just dropped everything. I would rather know before I get it framed. So yeah. Anyway, this is the whole thing so far. Halfway there. There's the rest of my material. So it's gonna look lovely. The month of June, I've already got the new chart. I've already downloaded it, is Nutcracker mug. So this has been a Nutcracker year for me this year. Lots of Nutcracker projects on the go. So looking forward to that. That probably won't get started until today is Sunday. Maybe Tuesday, I can't stitch. Oh, who knows? Monday or Wednesday. We'll see what happens. All right, that's one out of the way. Next project. Now, you didn't hear about this one in the last video. So this was a rescue project. A lady at work, we'd been chatting. She works in a different department, but we share the same lunchroom. And she saw me stitching in there one day. She said, oh, you do cross stitch? And of course we got talking. She said, oh, I do cross stitch. And I've got this project that I started so many years ago and I never finished it. And she got it out one day and she said to me, you know what, can you show me where I need to, this is the project. So it's called Quilter's Hearts. The chart is called Quilting Bee Hearts, but the actual design that I did was Quilter's Hearts by the Cross-Eyed Cricket. So it was this one here. And it's not the best photo because it really doesn't show the lovely colours. So she was missing about, goodness, how many? I'll put up a photo because she's got it all back now. I can't show you. I think she was missing about 4 or 5 hearts, something like that. And she's like, oh, because it's on linen and I can't quite remember where to start the hearts. Can you point it out for me? So she brought it into work and I started showing her, and I could see by the look on her face and her mannerisms that she really wasn't feeling this project anymore. And it just became evident to me she really didn't want to stitch it. So I said, do you want me to finish it for you? And her face lit up. She said, oh, could you do that? She was so grateful. So I said, yeah, of course, I don't mind doing that. Oh, but it will take you so long. I've just realized I think I did mention this in the last video. So sorry for repeating all that. Anyway, I said I'd gladly help her out. So I got the project, and she doesn't watch my channel and she doesn't follow me on Instagram. She doesn't know I do any of this stuff. So it was quite a mess, the project on the back. She clearly had no instruction on how to perform cross stitches. She did do a great job, but I could tell when I was unpicking things, her manner of stitching was quite a bit off. And unfortunately, once I got it under the magnifying glass, there were a lot of stitches that were placed into the wrong hole. And I was quite concerned that were she to frame this project, she might regret the way it looked. And you know, I don't want to sound horrible. I just wanted her to have a really lovely thing up on the wall that she could finish. So my plan was to place the hearts that were missing and then go back and fix as much as I could without removing too much of what she'd done, because I didn't want to remove her participation in the project, because after all, it was her project and I was just finishing it for her. So in the picture, you can see I've made some notes here because I've forgotten already. It was a 32 count linen. I have no idea what color it was. It was a lovely soft linen. It was really nice to work on. It was stitched 2/2 with DMC, and so as well as finishing the hearts that were missing, I redid the blue heart on the second row because that had a lot of the stitches that I was just mentioning that weren't in the right hole. So they looked quite off, and then it showed a lot of gaps of the linen behind it. So I completely frogged that whole heart and redid it. Also the pink heart, which is the fourth one on the third row, that one, it was completely in the wrong spot. It was like a stitch over too far, and the darker stitches were placed on top of the pink stitches, and you could see the pink stitches underneath. So I just completely frogged that and just redid that whole heart as well. And then there were various others that had a couple of extra stitches so the heart didn't look symmetrical, and some where there were some missing stitches within the heart. So yeah, just basic repair work, you know. So anyway, I gave it back to her. She's, oh my goodness, you're finished already. She was so happy. I gave it a lovely iron. I rolled it. I don't like to ever fold my fabric, purely because getting the fold marks out can be difficult sometimes, especially with linen. So I rolled it, and she noted that. Anyway, long story short, she called me up at work the other day. She said, she wanted to know where I frame my pieces. So I told her. She took it there, and in the process of me giving it to her and her taking it there, she must have refolded it. So he said to her, please take it home and iron it, because I don't do that, and then bring it back to me. So he gave her a quote. She then decided to go to a framer, I think that was closer to her home, that she'd used before, and she took it to him, and he quoted the same amount. So she said, fine, you can do it. And then she showed me the pictures he sent her. So the green heart, which one was it? I think it was on the third one on the second row. It's hard to see on here because it's so dark. Anyway, one of those green hearts was a stitch that had come out and was laying on top of the fabric. And I was like, that wasn't like that before. And then the other one, which was even more concerning, was the pink heart. One of the ones on the top, or was it the second row? I can't remember. One of the pink hearts, it was a piece of MDF wood behind the stitching, but on top of the linen, like wedged in there. And I said to her, what on earth is that? And she said, he said, well, he was trying to frame it. He got some wood stuck in there. And I said, well, he's clearly also snagged that on the green heart to cause that stitching to come out, because that green heart was one I hadn't fixed. So it's possible that she hadn't tucked her tails in adequately. But anyway, that sort of thing still should not happen. He had told her he was going to get his very precise shears out to cut this MDF wood. And yeah, shears and cross stitch. No. So anyway, I said to her, if I were you, I wouldn't get him to frame it. I would go back to where I recommended, because that would never have happened. I know I had my own mishap with using another framer, but this is next level. This is actually damaging your work before it's framed. So I was quite disappointed, but I showed her, I said, look, I did take a picture when I finished, and you can see here that green heart is in perfect shape. So they've clearly snagged it while they've been messing around with it, and maybe tried to blame it on you, which, yeah, that's not on. So I really hope she gets it sorted out. She said she's going to send me a picture when it's framed. So when that happens, I'll share that with you also. Anyway, that was a bit long-winded, wasn't it? But, you know, we like to hear these stories, I'm sure. All right, next one is something that dropped. Excuse me a moment. oh, had it hanging off the end of the table and then just knocked it over. This is my favourite finish of the month. So this is finish number 10. And this is Garden Cups by Our Forest Embroidery. Now, okay, I need to put something behind you. What am I going to use that's going to be long enough? Didn't plan this, did I? Here we go. I'll just have to move it down as we go. So let's get a bit closer. And this was so much fun to work on. This is my first ever satin stitching. So it's probably not perfect, but you know what? I've never seen satin stitching before, let alone having done it. Oh, and you can't see the bottom. Excuse me a moment. Still, see, I haven't ironed it yet. There we go. And I've signed it there at the bottom. It was so much fun. It was just so interesting doing the other stitches. And of course, my favorite thing is those beautiful koi fish. So this is done on 28 count Weichelt linen in the colorway Water Lily. So it has a very soft sage green color to it. The fabric I wouldn't choose again, to be honest. It's very coarse, almost like sack material. You might have recalled that I did mention that I wanted to do it in the same fabric as my fairy garden collection, which was a beautiful even weave in the same color. But you know what, it still worked. It probably misplaced the satin stitching a little bit because of the type of linen it is. So, you know, with the slubs, so even weave would have been better suited. But that's okay. It's, you know, this is all learning curves, and I'm still very, very happy with the finish of it. And yes, it's, as I said, at my last video, I also mentioned I might put the word barley on here somewhere, but I since decided not to do that because I thought later on, when I'm no longer around and this is in a beautiful frame, it can be enjoyed by others. Whereas someone might see barley and say, well, you know, I've never been to Bali, or I don't like Bali. Someone might look at this and say, oh, that looks like Japan, which I think it does as well. So anyway, I love it. And yes, total of 16 days to do that, 16 nights of stitching. I don't think that's much at all. So I was, yeah, very pleasantly surprised with that one. And that was also my first ever Our Forest embroidery stitch. And that, if anyone's interested, is a tri-pattern series. They have another one with beautiful cranes in the same sort of colours, pinks and whites and oranges, and what's the other one? I can't remember what the other one is, but yeah, it's a beautiful tri-series set, which is really nice. All right, so that's the third one. And then, okay, this one now, I was really hoping to finish this one and I'm so close. So I need to get it finished over the next couple of days, but I'm hesitant that I think I'm going to run out of beads. All right, so this is my 2023, another one that I need. I'm really sorry for the lighting. As I said, it's winter, there's really no sun out there today, or at least it's not coming in through this window. This is my 2023 Nutcracker. It's still on the frame. Nutcracker by Shannon Christine Designs. So all the stitching is done. I just am beading now. So get a little bit closer. You can see I've done the beading from the top down. I'm using petite beads and they fit beautifully. So happy with them. This is on 32 count opalescent Belfast linen using DMC 2/2. Look at the little gingerbread man. He's so cute. So I've just got to do the bottom section, his legs and the bottom section. And then there's some French knots. So try not to forget them on this one. But he will be finished very, very soon. I'll probably be finishing him as a standalone ornament rather than framing him, because I want to do all of them And as I said previously, there is going to be a new Nutcracker coming out in July for this year, which I am definitely going to do. And I'm sure my friend Kathy will also be joining me in that one because she's Nutcracker crazy as well. But I kind of like these guys. So I'm really excited to see what Shannon Christine comes up with for the next Nutcracker, whether, the colours and the style of Nutcracker. So can't wait to see that, but I will be jumping on board to buy that chart when it comes out. So fingers crossed. I was supposed to do this last night. I had a visitor, and I think I've got a visitor again tonight. So fingers crossed I can get this done and then get on to my next weekly project. All right, so just wanted to mention the reason why this month was so busy as well. For me, 10th of May was my daughter's birthday, and I also had to take her to a wedding, which was like 3-hour round trip drive. So that was a day that was a write-off. We also had Mother's Day, which was a lovely day, and my mum's birthday, which is on the 29th of May. So, of course, lots of social things going on, which means less time stitching, but social things are important too, and especially family. So, I had a really lovely month of May. But sadly, did not get any of my full coverage projects done. They didn't see the light of day at all. I took on the rescue project, which wasn't planned. Excuse me. And I had decided to get that garden carps finished. I just wanted it finished for the month so that then I could free up my weekend for another weekend project. So yeah, sometimes getting the things finished is more important than keeping track of what I said I would do for the week. So I'm a finished person, you know that. I like to get things finished. Unfortunately, the next process of fully finishing them doesn't always happen. I did say that there was an extra week in May, and I was going to hopefully, that's not going to stay there now. I was hopefully going to get some FFOs done, but that didn't happen. I needed that extra week in May to accomplish what I needed to accomplish. So that's the way it goes. All right, so plans for June. Week 1 will be the Christmas mug collection stitch along by Shannon Christine Designs. As I said, that's Nutcracker mug. I will put up a picture here. Week 2 will be my Boreal Forest, and let's hope I can keep to it this month. Week 3 is Fairy Whispers, and week 4 is Up on the Rooftop. So that's the plan. I'm not planning on a travel project, because the last couple of months I've said, this is going to be my travel project, and I haven't done it at all. And I don't know why. I'm just not in the mood for a travel project at the moment. Normally I would do some on a Tuesday when I'm babysitting and when Hazel's asleep. But at the moment, my daughter's still on maternity leave. So I'm spending the time with her and the 2 grandkids. So yeah, that doesn't happen. And I get to work and I'm busy doing other stuff. So no travel project planned. That way I don't get disappointed by not fulfilling it. So that's that. My new weekend project, now that I've finished garden carps, I will be going back to Sleigh Rides at Dusk, Christmas Stocking by Dimensions. And you haven't seen this one for a while, so I got it out to show you where I got up to. And that is it there. It's such a pretty design. Love this. So this was for my mum. Going to be Christmas stocking for my mum. So that will become my weekend project. But I do want to give you a heads up that I do need to start another new project. A Shepherd's Bush Christmas stocking for my new grandson, because it will be his first Christmas and he needs a Christmas stocking because the rest of my kids and grandkids all have one and he can't miss out. So when I plan which one I'm going to do for him and purchase it and the material, I will let you know. But at this stage, it's just in my head, I must do a Christmas stocking. I haven't organised which one. So I will have a think about that and that will be done. And I'm going to be attempting a new non-cross stitch project this month. hopefully this month. Needs to be done for winter. So it's still stitching, it's just not cross stitching. I don't want to say too much in case it doesn't work, but it's something I saw on Instagram. I thought it looked really fun. So I've bought some of the stuff for it and I want to give it a try. And if it works, you know what, I'll probably show you regardless of whether it works or not. So just watch this space and hopefully by next video I'll have something to show you. I just hope it works because it's so cute. All right, and I just want to say that I purchased one thing for the month. One thing, that was it. I purchased my very first Bella Filipina chart. So this was for sale on a Facebook D-Stash group, and I love Egyptian stuff. And I've been eyeing off the Bella Filipina mermaids and got, oh, they're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But then when I saw this, I can't resist. It was slightly cheaper than buying it retail, not hell of a lot, but I just couldn't resist. So, isn't she lovely? I haven't seen this one stitched. I'm sure it probably has been. I just haven't seen it stitched. So I have no plans to start that anytime soon, but I just needed to have it in my life. You all know what that feeling is like. Yes. Heaven and Earth design sales, anyone? Need to purchase them and then we just don't know when we're going to start them. All right, I think that's all I have to say for this month. I said we're into winter now, so it's freezing cold. It's soup weather for me. I love making soups. Planning on making pumpkin and cream soup tonight, so that will be my dinner. Looking forward to that. I'm off shopping today and I'll try and squeeze in a bit of stitching before my visitor, but might not happen. We'll see how we go. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful month and get lots and lots of stitching done. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.